August the 2nd, 216 BC. Apulia, southern Italy. Imagine marching in this. The red dust blinds you. The heat is suffocating. You are completely dehydrated, and you are surrounded by 80,000 men. It is the largest army the Republic has ever put on a single battlefield. You think you are walking toward an easy victory. You outnumber the enemy 2-1. The earth shakes with every step. You feel absolutely invincible. But by sunset, 70,000 of the men around you will be wiped from existence. A trap engineered by one man, Hannibal Barca. Every choice made today leads to total annihilation. Welcome to Cannae.
To understand why Cannae happened, you must look at Hannibal's reality. Rome is playing a cruel game of survival. They burn the fields. They poison the wells. Hannibal's army is starving. They are completely isolated deep inside enemy territory. If they do not fight today, they starve tomorrow. Hannibal needs a battle immediately. Rome has the opposite problem. They have too many men. Feeding and paying 80,000 soldiers drains the treasury. The Senate demands a quick victory. But the Roman system has a fatal flaw. 2 commanders. They switch control every single day. Yesterday, General Paulus was in charge. He refused to fight on flat ground. Today is August 2nd. Consul Varro is in charge, and Varro wants absolute glory. But Varro does not know that last night Hannibal sent riders to ruin the Roman water supply. Varro's men are marching into battle angry, dehydrated, and blind, exactly as Hannibal planned.
Varro's plan is brutally simple. Pack the infantry deep. March straight forward. The sheer physical weight of the legions is designed to snap any defense. It is a strategy that conquered Italy. It should have worked perfectly. But Varro does not know what is waiting in the dust. Hannibal answers the legions with a bizarre formation. He curves his front line outward like a bow. He puts his weakest, least armored troops exactly where the legions will hit the hardest. It looks like absolute suicide. Why would a genius commander sacrifice his own center? Because it is bait. A psychological gamble designed to feed Roman arrogance. The Romans look at this weak line. They think the battle will be over in 10 minutes. But Hannibal knows his mercenaries are terrified. If they run early, his entire army is destroyed. So he does the unthinkable. He places himself exactly where the Roman charge will hit first. He ties his life to theirs. He absorbs the full terror of the Roman advance.
Hold the line. Draw them in. Give me Rome today.
Varro sees blood. He orders the entire army to charge straight into the middle. 80,000 men take the bait blindly. The jaws of the trap open. The collision happens. The legions hit the Carthaginian center with terrifying physical force. The impact is deafening. The mercenaries take heavy casualties in the first few seconds. But Hannibal's line does not snap. It slowly steps backward, drawing the Romans deeper. A controlled retreat. They trade precious ground to absorb the heavy momentum. Smelling victory, the Romans push harder. They blindly rush into the hollow center. Now, imagine you are in that formation. You are pushed violently forward by the men behind you.
You are packed so tight you can barely breathe. You cannot even lift your arm to swing your sword. You are completely stuck. While the legions are trapped, Hannibal's heavy cavalry clears the field. They swing around and slam the back door shut. Trapped from the front, trapped from the rear. But the true horror is waiting on the flanks. Hannibal plays his final card. Elite African veterans pivot out of the dust. They hit the completely exposed Roman ribs. The legions are boxed in on all four sides.
Close the jaws! Leave them no space to breathe!
You realize you are not going to win. You are just waiting your turn to die. Men die standing up. The crush is so terrifying they cannot even fall to the ground. Cannae becomes a slaughterhouse. The greatest army Rome ever built is systematically taken apart.
Al Nilam. I told Varro. Tell Rome I died with my men in the dirt.
The slaughter ends. The screaming stops. 70,000 men are gone, wiped out in a single afternoon. 20% of Roman adult males are lying in this dirt. Look closely at the ground. These are the gold rings of the Roman elite.
A terrifying harvest. Carthaginian mercenaries strip the dead to prove their absolute victory. Out of 80,000, only a handful escape. They carry the nightmare back home. A lone rider rides into the night. He brings the apocalypse to Rome. The capital is defenseless. The trauma shatters their minds. Defeated nobles plot to flee across the sea. They want to abandon Italy entirely. But one 19-year-old survivor refuses to run. Publius Cornelius Scipio.
Metellus. Swear you will never abandon Rome. Run, and my sword finds your cowardly heart.
Scipio forces an oath of blood. Surrender is no longer an option. Hannibal expects a peace treaty. Any normal nation would surrender. But Rome is not normal. The Senate outlaws public mourning. Tears are illegal. You are not allowed to cry for the dead. They lower the drafting age. They buy slaves and arm them.
You cannot break a system that refuses to feel pain. If the army is destroyed, they build a new one. Cannae forces Rome to evolve. Rigid lines dissolve into a deadly new tactical system, because the Republic never forgets. Years later, Scipio brings the war directly to Carthage. Subscribe to our ranks if you survived the slaughter of Cannae. The Battle of Zama.
the student finally challenges the master. See you in the sands of Africa.